Very good morning to all of you. I once again welcome you all to this current lecture. In the last lecture, we studied one important point from the chapter, that is, what is meant by the geometrical isomerism, how this geometrical isomerism is defined, how this geometrical isomerism is classified into four different types, that is cis and trans configuration, and second one important is what is meant by E and Z nomenclature or configuration system for the given isomers. Now, after completing this important point in a current lecture, we are going to take the next important point from the chapter, and the important point is configuration. We know very well the classification of the stereoisomers into the two different types, conformation and configuration. We already completed or studied this conformation. What in by this conformation? What are the different conformations for the different molecules? How these conformations can be studied with the help of different parameters, what are their physical and chemical properties. Now after that, as far as this configuration is considered, we have to consider this configuration regarding the stereoisomers or regarding the chiral center. As far as the any chiral molecule is to be considered, we know very well that that chiral molecule has the chiral center or asymmetric center. Now, as far as this asymmetric center is to be considered, suppose if we consider here a general representation of a chiral center or asymmetric center, suppose this carbon is called as the chiral carbon atom. Now, we know very well that as far as this chiral carbon atom is to be considered, that atom must be attached to the four different atoms or groups. In this case, what happens? The four different atoms or groups is there. One is hydrogen, second is a chlorine, next is a methyl group, and fourth is called as the ethyl group. So you can say that this carbon has the four different type of the atoms or groups, and that's why this carbon atom is called as a chiral carbon atom, and that center is called as the chiral center or asymmetric center. Now, what is meant by the word configuration? Now, as far as this configuration word is considered, now what is meant by configuration? The configuration is nothing but the spatial arrangement of these atoms or groups. The spatial arrangement of these atoms or groups surrounding this chiral center that characterizes a particular stereoisomer, and that is called as the its configuration. So what is by configuration? The spatial arrangement of either atoms or groups around the chiral center which characterizes a given stereoisomer, then it is called as its configuration. So this is the one of the possible configuration for this particular molecule. Now, if I take the mirror image of this particular molecule, we get this type of the mirror image. Now, if we compare these two mirror images of these two molecules, then what happens? We can say that these mirror images are called as the non-superimposable mirror image, and that's why these two isomers are nothing but the enantiomers. These are called as the enantiomers. Now, as far as this pair of enantiomer is to be considered, it has the similar molecular formula, it has the similar bond length or other properties, but they get differ only in case of the one property, and that property is a different spatial arrangement of atoms or groups surrounding this particular chiral center. Now, as far as these positions of these particular atoms or groups surrounding the chiral center is to be considered, depending upon that, we can get the different routes. Now, what do you mean by these different routes? Suppose in this first isomer, suppose if we go in a clockwise direction, if we go in a clockwise direction, then what happens? Suppose if you go from this side clockwise direction, then what happens? The first groups comes is called as the ethyl group, next is called as your hydrogen, next is called as your chlorine. So this is a one sequence of the atoms or groups of atoms in a clockwise direction. The first groups comes, that is a C2H5, the next groups comes is your H, next group comes is called as your Cl, and the next is your methyl. So this is a one simple sequence of atoms or groups if we go clockwise direction. If we go from clockwise direction, first group is here ethyl group, next is your hydrogen, next is your chlorine atom, and fourth is called as your methyl group. The same sequence, clockwise sequence, if we follow in this second isomer, then what happens? If we go from clockwise direction, the first atom is here chlorine, next is the hydrogen, third is the ethyl, and fourth is called as the methyl. So just I write here the simple sequence. This is a chlorine, next is called as your hydrogen, next is called as your C2H5 group, and next is called as your methyl group. Now from these two different sequence, it is very clear to us that no doubt these two are called as enantiomers of each other, but if we look towards the actual arrangement of atoms or groups surrounding this chiral center, it get differ, and for this purpose just we follow the clockwise direction in both these isomer, so they get differ in terms of the actual position of the particular atoms or groups, and that's why we can say that when such a type of the different arrangement is there, then it is called as its configuration. So these two enantiomers get differ in terms of their configuration. No doubt they are enantiomers, but they get differ in terms of their actual arrangement of atoms or groups, and that's why it is called as its its configuration. Now as far as this configuration is to be considered, while assigning the configuration for any type of the isomer or any type of the enantiomeric pair, two different type of the configuration system is employed. The first important classification system is called as your absolute configuration. The first important type is a absolute configuration. The first important configuration is called as the absolute configuration, and in this absolute configuration, two nomenclature system is to be used, that is D and L system, capital D and capital L system. So these two type of the assignments is there according to the absolute this is a absolute it is not a first absolute, it is first is your relative configuration. First is your relative configuration. First is your relative configuration. In this relative configuration, we consider here D and L system. And the second important configuration is called as the absolute configuration. The next is your absolute configuration, in which we consider here R and S system. We consider here capital R and capital S system. So as far as the assignment of configuration to any type of the isomer is to be considered, we commonly use these two type of the configuration assignment systems. First is the relative configuration, in which we can assign D and N nomenclature or D and L system, while in the case of second configuration system, absolute configuration, in which we can assign either capital R or S system or S configuration to the particular isomer. Now we have to study these two configuration system one by one. So first of all, we are going to study this second absolute configuration system. Now as far as this absolute configuration system is to be considered, this absolute configuration system can be proposed by the three scientists, that is the Kahn, Ingold and Prelog. Kahn, Ingold and Prelog. These are three scientists propose one configuration system, that is absolute configuration system. So according to these three scientists, Kahn, Ingold and Prelog, they propose some simple rules for assigning the R and S nomenclature system for the given particular isomer. Now as far as this absolute configuration system is to be considered, we have to follow this nomenclature system in a two different simple steps. So first simple steps for assigning this R and S configuration is that we have to follow some sequence rules. We have to follow some sequence rules. Now for this purpose, we consider here these two different type of the arrangements of isomers, or two different type of the arrangements of atoms and groups around this chiral center. So first important selection rule for assigning this R and S system is that you have to assign the priority. You have to assign the priority to the given atoms or groups by using some selection rules. You have to assign the priority for these four different atoms or groups by using some type of the selection rules. And suppose by employing these particular selection rules, we have to give the priority from 1 to 4. Suppose by applying these selection rules, if we observe that this A has the priority number 2, this B has the priority 2, this D has the priority 3, and this E has the priority 4. So these four different priorities we can assign here from 1 2, 3 and 4. Now in the same manner we have to assign the similar priorities to these 4 different groups attached to this second isomer. So again we get here for A we get here first priority, for this B we get here second priority, for this D we get here third priority, and for this E we again get here fourth priority. So this is the first simple step for assigning the priority by using some selection rules. Now once we assign these 4 different priorities for the 4 different atoms or groups, the second important thing is that we have to look toward this isomer or toward this stereo isomer in such a manner that we observe from opposite side. We must observe from opposite side towards that particular lowest priority group. We must observe toward this molecule trans or exactly opposite to the lowest priority group, and this lowest priority group is this fourth priority group, that is the E. So we can observe here from this opposite side of this particular fourth priority group. So we can observe here. So we can observe from this particular transposition or antiposition of that of the lowest priority group. In the same way, in this case also we can observe toward this molecule from this anti site or from the transposition of this lowest priority group, or we can say that we must observe toward this stereoisomer in such a manner that that lowest priority group must be away from the observer, or it is behind the plane of this particular molecule, behind the plane, while the remaining groups must be present in a same plane. So this is the second important rule, how to observe toward this particular stereoisomer. Now once we assign priorities, once we choose the exact position for observing toward this particular stereoisomer, after that we have to just follow one simple rule. While going from clockwise direction or from anti-clockwise direction, what type of the sequence is to be observed? Suppose in this last case we have to observe while going from first priority group towards the fourth priority group. Means if we want to go from first priority group towards this fourth priority group, if we want to go from first priority group towards this fourth priority group, what type of direction is there, whether it is a clockwise direction or whether it is a anti-clockwise direction. So for this purpose, first of all, if we look toward this first stereoisomer, if we want to go from 1 to 4, so how will we go here? From first to 4 we can go here like this type of the direction we can follow while going from first priority group towards the fourth priority group, and this is called as the clockwise direction. This is called as the clockwise direction. And if the such a type of the clockwise direction is there while going from first priority group to the fourth priority group, then that particular configuration is called as the R configuration. This is called as the R configuration. This is called as the R configuration. Now in the second stereoisomer, suppose if we want to go from 1 towards this fourth priority group, then what you have to do here? We have to just go here in this way, first to second to third. So this type of arrangement is there, or this type of the rotation is there. So this type of the movement is there. That movement is in a anti-clockwise manner. It is in a anti-clockwise manner. So whenever such a type of the anti-clockwise direction is there, then that configuration is called as the S configuration. This is called as the S configuration. Now this is the simple method for assigning R configuration and the S configuration, but we must know that what is mean by this R and what is by this S. What is mean by this R and S? So as far as this R and S is to be considered, R is a Latin word. R is a Latin word. This R stands for rectus. This R stands for rectus. It means right-handed. This R is nothing but the right-handed. So R is a Latin word. It means rectus and it means the right-handed. While this S stands for, again it is a one Latin word. S is again the Latin word. It stands for sinister. This is a sinister. It means left-handed. it means the left handed. So this is a literally meaning of this R and S, their Latin word and their respective meaning. So as far as this R is to be concerned, it is called as right-handed. And what is by this right-handed? We go here from first priority group towards this fourth priority group in a right-hand side or in a clockwise direction. That's why we can say that this is a R configuration. While in this case of the second isomer, if we go from first priority group towards this fourth priority group, we can go here from left hand side, or we can say that it is a anti-clockwise direction, and that's why that configuration is called as the S configuration. So this is a very simple assignment configuration system for assigning this particular configuration called as absolute configuration. That is nothing but the R and S system. While giving this R and S nomenclature for the given stereoisomer, you have to just simply follow the two simple rules. The first simple rule is that you must assign the priority for the given atoms or groups by using some selection rules. That is the priority number 1, 2, 3 and 4. Once we assign this type of the priority, we have to follow the second important rule. The rule is that we have to observe toward this particular isomer in such a way that the lowest priority group must be present away from the observer. It must be away from the observer, or you have to observe toward this molecule just anti or trans to this particular lowest priority group. And after that, after using this rule number first and rule number second, we must consider the actual direction of movement. Means we have to go from first priority group towards the fourth priority group. While going from this first to fourth priority group, which type of the direction we can use here, whether it is a clockwise direction or whether it is a anti-clockwise direction. If your direction for movement is clockwise, it is R configuration. If your direction of movement is anti-clockwise, it is called as the S configuration. So in this current lecture, we studied here the important concept what is in by this configuration. So for this purpose, we take the help of these two simple examples. This is a pair of the enantiomers. How these enantiomeric pairs differ in case of the actual arrangement of atoms or group of atoms surrounding the stereoisomer. So for this purpose, we take the help of definition for this particular configuration. Once we consider this definition of configuration, there are two different type of the configuration is there. One is a relative configuration, second is called as absolute configuration. So first of all, we consider here absolute configuration. So this absolute configuration is proposed by the three scientists, Kahn, Ingold and Prelog. It get classified into two types, R configuration and S configuration. R is a Latin word, means rectus. S is a Latin word called as a sinister. Rectus stands for right-handed, sinister stands for left-handed. Once we know these two different type of the assignment system, we studied here these two different type of the general examples for assigning R and S configuration. Now, while assigning this type of the priority, we have to use some type of the selection rules. Now, what are that different type of the selection rules? So that selection rules we can going to take in a next lecture. So in this current lecture, with this I stop here. Remaining points we will study in a next upcoming video lecture. So thank you so much.